Romeo Doubs back from a concussion with the Guardian cap and a couple of touchdown passes last night for the Green Bay Packers in a 30-13 romp over the Seattle Seahawks. You and I both were on the Packers.
Yeah.
I
Not
had
like
no
that,
doubt
though.
about it. No,
Right.
not like that. But
Yeah.
the Seahawks' home field advantage isn't what it used to be. There's a certain amount of irony that on the night that they honored the 40th anniversary
Right,
of retiring 12 for the fans, like the Packers fans took over. There's just been a post-Pete Carroll funk in Seattle. Even though they'd won 4 in a row, the fans aren't all in like they used to be. They don't think they have a Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we got a playoff winner, but we've had division winners. This doesn't feel like a special team to the fans, so they're not coming out going crazy like they were. And I think there's also an element of we've been there and done that.
Yeah, right.
You know, if you're talking about people who aren't all in, diehard, year in and year out football fans, you're going to have people who kind of like I am with the Penguins. Like, I've had my taste of hockey. I've enjoyed a few championships. If I never watch another hockey game, I won't feel slighted.
Right.
And there may be a lot of people in Seattle that are like, we've already done the Seahawks thing. Maybe the baseball team will finally be worth a crap. We got a hockey team now. Let's go watch the Kraken instead. I just feel like that's kind of seeped into the fan base.
I know what you're saying. I think it is a little bit of all that. It's a great fan base, but it's been now, 15, 16 years.
Selling their tickets to the Packers fans.
It was, I will say, but it's 16 years, and just to, piggyback what you're saying, I think it has spoiled a little bit. We have been good. Hey, this team is on the up and up, but okay, maybe we're a wild card team. There's not excitement around town that I think is going to make that kind of energy or move.
I'm going to pay Jerry Jones a compliment here.
Right. Wow.
This is the brilliance of Jerry Jones. Who in the entire Seattle organization, name one person that is electric, magnetic, is going to be out there waving the flag to get people excited? Name one.
Yeah.
One person.
They don't have that guy right now.
Yeah.
They don't.
And they don't have an owner.
Right.
Jody Allen,
right.
the sister of Paul Allen, who is presiding indefinitely over this trust where at some point the team's going to be sold, but I guess she's kind of into it, but she's very secretive and private, which is fine. That's her prerogative. But they don't have anybody who is selling the team the way Jerry Jones sells the Cowboys. And even though I think it's more about selling the team, not literally, but like selling to get people to show up and open their wallets and buy overpriced stale popcorn like I did at AT&T Stadium 14 years ago, but I'm not bitter about that 14 years later. But you need that. And the Seahawks don't have that. And I think there's a lesson there. It's not just about showing up and competing on the field. You need to have magnetic, charismatic personalities that will get people excited and draw their interest away from the local baseball team, the local hockey team, effort to bring an NBA team, whatever the case may be. You need that. I feel like they don't have that now.
No, they definitely don't. I mean, it certainly doesn't even come close to matching what Pete
Carroll
Carroll
was, bouncing around,
chewing gum, Marshawn Lynch, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Russell Wilson in his prime. No, I mean, they were must-see TV at that point. I think that's why, it's maybe a little spoiled that way. They're in a process of kind of trying to, it's like rebuild, retool on the fly right now. And they've done some good things. And where it was surprising last night is that they'd been playing good football lately, and we had seen a defense and a defensive line that had been dominant the last few weeks. You've heard me talk about it a lot. And I think that's the shocking thing yesterday is, I'm not shocked Green Bay won, but it's the way they won the football game. Again, they start the game with giving Josh Jacobs the ball every freaking play. Every play. He touches the ball 10 out of the first 11 plays. Jordan Love's scramble was the only play he didn't touch it early on in the football game. And I think that continues this onward process of a Green Bay team that I know we both think, and I think there's a lot of people out there in media football world that see what we talk about with Green Bay, that there is potential and path and talent on this team for them to get to a Super Bowl or be in the NFC Championship.
Youngest team in the league.
Right. They're the youngest team in the league. They're immature. They are. But when they play like last night, and I still feel like they're in a little bit of a process of like, hey, let's make Jordan Love feel good early. Let's get some easy screens. Let's run the ball. And they're kind of just trying to build him up to get him at his best for the playoffs because he hasn't been there all year like we've talked about. But last night was a start. It was pretty good. The week before and some of the games they played there, it slowly but surely feels like they're starting to trust him more and more and build him up. And hopefully this can go somewhere because like you talked about with Dobbs and everybody else, they got people here and he can make it happen. His talent is there. But the Lions game, they look good on offense, but it still felt like they were not sure if they wanted to unleash Jordan Love. Last night was a little bit more, and we saw him throw the ball better and better. And this throw here at the end of Dobbs, I mean, just dropping it in like a nice little touch football pass over the top there. When Jordan Love's on his game, he is damn good, and that's what Green Bay needs here down the stretch if they want to be in the Super Bowl.
After 4 straight wins, the loss puts Seattle technically in second place in the NFC West.
Yeah.
The Rams in charge. The Rams started 1-4. They're 7-2 since then. Seattle's got Minnesota next week at home. Hey, you think if the Cheeseheads took over, they're going to be doing this
I will say,
Lumen Field
last night
next
was
week.
I've never, to your point and what you said, you're exactly right. I've never seen another team's fan base there to that extent in that stadium, which I would say is the loudest outdoor NFL stadium in football and best home
engineered
field.
That way.
It is incredible.
I was there
It
10
traps
years
it in
ago.
there.
I was in there 10 years ago before the first game of the season, and somebody was pressure washing, and it sounded like a jackhammer because of the way the sound bounces off and bounces down onto the sideline. Geno Smith, knee injury. Mike McDonald, not sure whether he'll be available next week. I think McDonald said himself there's nothing structural that they're aware of, but he may not be able to go.
Low,
and Sam
got
Howell,
the knee caught in a tough
Sam
spot.
Howell was not, Sam Howell was not great, but he got thrust into it. If he would have a whole week to get ready, it might be different. 5 for 14, 24 yards and an interception. He may have a whole week where he is getting ready and playing. We'll see what happens with Geno Smith. Tough break for the Seahawks if he can't go, and tough road for them. They may fall out altogether because that's the thing. For the Seahawks and Rams, whoever doesn't get in as the division winner
they
is
a lot of
not,
stuff to happen.
You got to catch.
Yeah.
You got to catch the Commanders.
Yeah, and you're going to have to hope they lose and a few things shake out for you that way. And not only lose, but loses some teams in the conference if you want to win the tiebreaker and all that. So, it feels like whoever wins the NFC West gets in, and whoever doesn't is not getting in. That's the way it feels.
And you don't want the Rams.
And
in there.
no, you don't.
Want
The
Seahawks.
The NFC's got a few teams where you go, you don't want to see, right? The Rams and the Packers are both teams I think we look at, and the Vikings in the wild card round where you go, you got to deal with those teams coming to town to your home wild card game. That was your gift to deal with them.
Well, I
right?
know, but still,
Right.
if you are the Vikings or the Packers with a much greater record and you have to go play in LA or go play in Tampa, you could lose that game.
Definitely, 100%.
And I think that if the Falcons or Seahawks would win, it's a very different vibe than if the Bucks and the Rams win.
Yeah, because
you got better
getting hot, making
to
a
your
run.
point from last year. You
Right.
don't want the Steelers in the playoffs because they can't win in the playoffs. I would want the Bucks, not the Falcons. I would want the Rams, not the Seahawks. If the goal is to have the best possible field of teams and the best possible games,
I'm with you there all the way. The 7 we got in right now is the best 7. That's the way I feel. That's what I would like to see. I think that would lead to the best watch on TV and everything there.
I mean, really, there's still a lot of details to be determined, but the 14 playoff teams now. It Rams, Seahawks, it may come down to week 18. Who knows? They play each other then.
Yeah, right.
But the NFC West, I feel like the Bucks are going to, especially we'll talk about them later, but the way they've been playing and the way the Falcons have been playing, I feel like it's going to be the Bucks now. But it feels like we know. And we've got 50 regular season games left to play, including tonight's games, 50 total games, and I feel like we know. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.